We're in an ongoing series on the ingredients that make up great leaders. We start off talking about compassion, and today we're going to talk about trust. You see, compassion without trust is ineffective. You might care about people, but if they don't trust you, your influence is not going to be as great as it could be. Now, when we think about trust is basically having confidence in something or someone. You trust that a bridge is going to hold you up. You trust that a doctor is going to give you the right diagnosis. You have confidence in those things. Now, when it comes to people, trust is not all or nothing. It's actually more complex than that. It has levels. You might trust somebody to fix your car, but it's a whole different level to trust someone to watch your kids. When it comes to trust, I like to think about a bank account. I've adapted this from Stephen Covey's emotional bank account in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We have a trust account with every single person we come in contact with, okay? So that means with strangers, you probably have very little currency in that account. But with close friends, you probably have lots of currency. And just like a bank account, we make deposits and withdrawals. A trustworthy person is dependable. They can be counted on. They're honest. They're a person that does things with character. And when we perform those characteristics, we earn trust. We make deposits in people's trust account. However, when we don't do the things we say we're going to do, when we overpromise and underdeliver, we make withdrawals from that account. That's the way trust works. Now, the other thing that can happen is that each of those deposits and withdrawals, they can vary depending on the action that is there. So some actions we do can put lots of money in our trust account. However, other actions can put smaller amounts of money in that trust account. This is where the encouragement languages that we talked about last session comes into play. When we speak someone's encouragement language, it's putting more money in that trust account than something else. So for example, one of my encouragement languages is quality time. When someone asks me to eat lunch with them or to go play golf, that is more of a deposit than if someone just simply gave me a gift. They both make deposits, but one has more impact. Now, the goal of leadership is that your trust account with people is constantly growing. You might make some small withdrawals, but you're constantly moving up and you're growing the currency in it. Okay? And you never want to be overdrawn. That's where you have a fracture in a relationship. Now, if we have these accounts with people, how do we know if our trust account is high or low? Unfortunately, that's a very difficult determination to make. With a bank account, we can see it objectively. However, with people, it's a little bit more subjective. But I'm going to default to Stephen Covey's son, Franklin Covey, to give you some help. He says that where you have high trust, you have high speed. Where you have low trust, you have low speed. So think about the relationships around you. Family members, friends, coworkers. When you think about those relationships, is it smooth or is it difficult? When you have to handle hard situations, are you able to maneuver it, speak honestly, not get defensive, and make headway and solve the problem? Or does it feel like it's pulling teeth? If it feels like the latter, you probably have low trust. You see, teams and families with high trust, they can have open conversations. They can talk straight. They can be real and honest, but they always assume the best and they never doubt someone's intentions or motives. That's high trust. I heard a story about the famous Herb Kelleher who founded Southwest Airlines. The way the story goes, Gary Barron, who then was the vice president of the $700 million maintenance organization for Southwest, came to Herb. He handed him a 3-page memo where he wanted to completely restructure the company. Herb read the memo on the spot, asked him one question. Gary responded that they were working on that concern, and then Herb said this: do it. That's it. They didn't have to spend time in 3-day-long meetings to get this accomplished. Herb trusted Gary. High trust equals high speed. And that's the goal when it comes to our leadership. We want to have high trust with people. Now, one final word on trust, because I get this a lot. People ask, is trust earned or given? And my response is yes. It's all dependent upon you. You need to give trust so that you can allow people to earn even more trust. And then you need to earn trust with people even if they're not giving it to you. It's always up to you. It's never the fault of the other person. All right, here's our game plan. We've been talking over the last few sessions about this list of people you want to influence, this list of people that you want to lead and that you want to serve and help develop. I want you to look at the names on that list. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, what's your trust account level with them? If it's low, maybe try to figure out why it's low. If it's really low, you might have to have a conversation with them and begin working on developing that trust account. Next session, we're going to talk about how we can grow those trust accounts and build trust with the people around us. Well, let me leave you with our tweetable lesson. It's from Franklin Covey. High trust equals high speed. Low trust equals low speed.